A young maid lost her.
We're going to do a little bit of overdrive with Fritz Springmeier, and I hope he doesn't get thrown in the clink for this interview. There's certain subjects he's been told not to get into. Well, you don't get your free speech back when you get out of prison. Isn't that funny? And they certainly have shut him up. I want to get to your calls, too, folks, and I've got other news I haven't gotten to. I got so many little subjects I want to bring up with Fritz, and I almost don't want to stop the show, but I've got to go do the nightly news as well because I want to get to everything. I might just do some extended overdrive here, but we've got to talk to Fritz during the break. But I've also got to get ready for the Money Bomb 27-hour broadcast. Fritz has agreed to be on with us at 11 o'clock his time, Pacific, on Thursday. And, of course, I'll be live then. So that'll be 1 o'clock in the morning our time. And then, of course, all this will be archived at prisonplanet.tv and also put on the YouTube channel. But we're going to have free boxes of different systems to watch it on prisonplanet.tv. We're going to have a Justin TV channel and others. And, wow, we got 3 million people to watch Aaron when he was at Bilderberg covering it just on our Justin TV. 3.2 million in a 3-day period watch that channel. So this is going to be big. Get the word out of the Money Bomb transmission. I'm going to try to tomorrow have the live Money Bomb page already up at Infowars.com. That'll have all the different players and things so you can get that link out to everybody for this historic transmission. Now, going back to Fritz here, political prisoner, author of Bloodlines, the Illuminati, available at Infowars.com. Before Fritz leaves us, we'll also get an address if folks want to get the book directly from him and his family. But Fritz, this is a short segment, as you know, one more little short one, and we'll probably end it there. But I almost don't want to because we got you now, and I've been wanting to talk to you for 8 years. You were bringing up the fact of this isn't even a deal at all. People think they have a choice. Join the quote, winning New World Order, and get some temporary money or whatever, or join good and be persecuted. I've actually studying this. You're a lot better off joining good. There's this illusion. You have to have the courage to first do it. You'll get attacked up front. But when you almost, like you've done, you've learned the secret, and it's what I've learned. And I hate to even say this because it feels sick, but it's not. I was never sadomasochistic, and I don't mean like I like being hit and stuff. I don't. But when I get persecuted and lied about, it's like somehow God in my brain turns it around and makes it almost enjoyable, even though it's hurting very badly. What do you think that phenomenon is? And if it sounds like you've experienced that as well, Fritz.
Well, when you know you're right, you know you're right. And if everybody else wants to be a lemming and run off the cliff, so that's their problem. You know what you're doing, and you have. When we go through our day-to-day life, if we just have a 9-to-5 job where we just sell our soul to the system, and we're dead inside, you know, versus someone like you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing is right, you have a joy. And that joy brings life to you. You know, anybody who watches you can see that you have a lot of life. And versus somebody who's physically alive, but their soul's been killed. And you can't replace that. You know, you're not going to throw away what you have to be a dead person that's just like a zombie walking through their little system. That's how I would describe
Fritz, that's it. Listen, I am so fulfilled with this knowledge, and it's not even fear anymore, that people say they're unfulfilled. Do you ever experience it where you're so fulfilled with understanding and things that it's almost like it's so good you can't stand it? The joy.
Sure. Stay
there. Got a break. I want to get your, this is incredible. Unbelievable. Well, this has been an amazing interview. And the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have miles to go before I sleep. I don't know if we should end this in 5 minutes or we should do 15 more with Fritz on the other side, maybe take some calls. Fritz, I'm looking forward to having you with us Thursday. So you were getting into the joy of knowing you're right, knowing you're on target, and knowing that you're not part of the darkness. Because once you realize just how dark that darkness really is, once you realize just what it is, it's like, my goodness. You know, they sell this image of the devil as the devil cheerleader, Marilyn Monroe, all hot and sizzling, and it's inviting. But really, it's not. It's desiccating. It's soul-sucking. And as you said, these are the servants of this are zombies bought for nothing out of money made up out of nothing.
Exactly. Fool's gold, counterfeit money. The devil pays in counterfeit money. Are you able to still hear me?
Yes, I'm just listening to you. We've got 3 or 4 minutes left. Genetic engineering. They're coming out with mosquitoes they're going to release to forcibly inoculate us. Cross splicing. What concerns you most about the New World Order's master plan?
Wow, where to begin? It's just death. The whole program is death. You know, all aspects of it. It's just to kill everything that's good and decent, and then this tampering, trying to be God, tampering with genetics, and we already have plenty of examples out there of horror stories of when they've tried to tamper with nature. You would think that people would be up in arms because of all of the bad examples that are already there. What concerns me most? Wow. Well, right now, the biggest issue that's facing us on our plates is, you know, they're going to crash the economy, and there's going to be a lot of suffering. And I don't like to see people suffer, and I hope that people will mitigate that by doing things where they're more self-reliant. But I know that a lot of people won't be able to or won't do it because they're walking in ignorance. And so there's just going to be a lot of suffering. I'm already seeing it all around me. And right now, in the immediate future, that's my immediate concern is all the suffering that people are going to go through economically. We've got, and further on down the road, we've got even more mean, nasty things planned for the world.
Well, you know, Fritz, I've waited 8 years to talk to you. And so, you know what? Even though I've got stuff piled mountains high, do one more 12, 13-minute segment with us to talk about the Illuminati master plan. The program is death. Now, the back of my film Endgame says they want you dead. But, you know, what is their program, Fritz? Death. I mean, that is it. They've got all these intellectual excuses mid-level for their technicians that don't see all of it or even a large part of the system. But when you get back away from it and actually see from an Illuminist viewpoint by study and reverse engineering, the program is death. It's a giant system to trick even their own servants into setting up a giant kill machine. And at the very highest level, the Illuminists, some of them actually know that and are into this nihilistic death thing. And I've actually quoted some of those globalists and transhumanists saying that they want to blow the planet up just because they want to go on willing. I'm sure you've seen those quotes. I mean, this is literally death. You know, they ask, what is the end game? Death. It's like James Bond saying in, was it Goldfinger? He says, do you expect me to talk? And he goes, no, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. I mean, it's death. People say, what's the goal? It's death. Where are they going? Death. What do they want for the world? Death. What are they into? Death. What's their end game? Destruction. Kill, steal, and destroy. Kill, steal, and destroy. They only want to steal and destroy because they want to kill you. Death, death, scorched earth, burnout planet, dead planet, extinct planet. Fritz Springmeier is our guest. Stay with us. We're going to do one more segment as he looks forward with what the Illuminati master plan is. We've talked about him now. Now we're going to get his view. Okay. We've only got like 12 minutes left with Fritz Springmeier. He'll be back with us 1 a.m. during the 27-hour broadcast. That'll be Friday morning, the first hour, I guess, of Friday. And we'll have free video streaming boxes at InfoWars and Prison Planet. We're going to try to fire those up tomorrow for Tuesdays and Wednesday's show ahead of the 4th annual funding mechanism here, the InfoWars Money Bomb 2011. Don't forget, we have 15 days free now. You can sign up and do a 15-day free deal at prisonplanet.tv. Get the nightly news, all of it. We are listener supported. We're doing this because of your support and growing exponentially. If we're going to fight the globalists, might as well do it 110%. Now, in the little bit of time we've got left here until you come back, people obviously wanted to hear about what happened to you, what went on. It's a great window into our society, Fritz Springmeier. But in the 12 minutes we've got left, now 11 minutes, I want to just throw issues out at you and get a quick response in a minute or so to get your view and your take on things. But first, and if you don't have it in front of you, I forgot to tell you, find it and we'll have it at the end. But is there an address where folks can write and get Bloodlines, the Illuminati, or your other books? How do people, is there an email? How do folks contact you?
Okay, they can contact me at springmeiermessages@hotmail.com. And they need to spell my name, Springmeier, SPRINGMEIER, and then messages@hotmail.com. That will, and then of course, the Bloodlines book is available from you, so I recommend that they buy it from you, actually.
Well, fantastic. Again, folks can go to the Springmeier site right there, and it's very important to support you, obviously, so that you can defend yourself again if they try to set you up. We need to get you back on that original work you were doing, but hopefully then my dad always told me, he's a really smart guy, he said, son, even before I got on radio, he said, when you go up against big crooks, they tend to just ignore you, but if you go up against little local corrupt people, or little criminals, that's who you actually got to worry about. And I think the fact that you were right in the middle of a nest of them is why they set you up and did that. But moving on along here, let me just throw issues out at you. Playing God, genetic engineering, we already covered that to a certain extent. What about Al-Qaeda, 9/11, the mind control of 9/11, the system now putting Al-Qaeda in charge in Libya, in Egypt, in trying in Syria? I mean, in plain view, saying we're taking your rights because of Al-Qaeda, but Al-Qaeda is trying to attack you, so we're going to put them in charge. What's the whole Al-Qaeda, Saudi Arabian situation and the whole New World Order constellation?
Well, we're working on a number of agendas there, but two agendas, and they tie into what you were saying about death. Two of the agendas is we're working towards a world war, and we're also working towards a world religion where they're going to destroy all fundamental religions and replace it with their world religion, which will be a satanic-based religion. And so Christianity and fundamental Islam are being discredited, and you have a lot of fundamentalists that are being exploited by the media to make people reject Christianity and Islam. So we got that agenda going. We've got also the process where they're bringing all these elements together to create another world war. You know, all of these agendas, like you were saying, you summed it all up by just saying it's death. One of the things that means so much to us are our children. And one of their agendas is to take away the right to have children. You'll notice the process. And when I was in counseling in college, my professor said, if you're looking at a situation, don't look at the details, because the details may be contradictory, but look at the process. You'll see that there's a process to create a world war. You'll see there's a process to discredit Christianity. You'll see there's a process here in many, many different ways to discredit the idea of people having children. And at some point, the government will be able to take that over, produce children in factories, and then, of course, we'll have the mind control full blown. Then they can produce whatever they want. You know, if they need a certain model soldier, they'll produce it. If they need a certain model slave labor, they'll produce that slave. They'll be under that type of mind control. That's the program, you know, like a computer. Basically, what they'll be creating is human robots And they've been doing that already, so that they've already have the ability to do that. It's just that there's still some of us around that are free men that think with are still free thinkers.
Well, that's one of their mind control programs, is to tell us we don't have free will. We're not allowed to have our own moral beliefs, but they have theirs. They all know it's about free will. They want to tell you there's no free will, and they admit the military with the drills and the codes and the files. It's all about making you do something over and over again until it just becomes automatic. That's what TSA, always wanting more, power. Again, it's about training us, breaking our will. What's the time frame, Fritz, on all this? I mean, everybody can feel it.